Foodie Fridays, my special time of the week, and moving into Share a Cup. I'm sharing a cup with a special gentleman this morning, someone that has literally mentored me in my career, my ex-boss. Didn't like him when he was my boss. But I grew to like him over time. I'm just being honest there, you know.
I didn't like you either. So we're mutual on that.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dale Enoch to Cup and Joe.
Hello to you, Joel. And good morning to your viewers as well. Good morning.
Thanks so much for being here.
And congratulations on this new venture.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Good.
When I started the show, and we were with the producer, Abiel Jackson, myself, we were going through lists of who we would want to interview, or especially for this main segment, Share a Cup. Your name popped into my mind immediately, just because of the giant of a character that I think you are.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. And what did Abiel say? She said, no.
She said, who?
Who's
Dale,
that?
who?
But I thank you very much for your very kind words.
I mean, in a great sense, for folks even who would have followed my career, it really did start at I-95.5, where yourself and Tony Lee would have taken me in at that point in time and nurtured me as a young reporter back in those days. Then you've been in this industry how long now? Yeah.
Gosh, 24 years.
You're what, 80 years now? How old are you now?
You're off to a very bad start. But 24 years doing the morning show.
Yeah.
In different incarnations,
Right.
at least 3 or 4 incarnations. But as a journalist, I've been in it for about 29 years.
29 years. Yeah.
When I see that, I shock myself sometimes because you never think it's so many years, you know. But it has been a long time.
Your longevity in the industry, Dale, speaks a lot. And over the years, in my time being in the industry, we've seen young journalists start, and some don't stay because
they become communication specialists,
they become, that's right.
public relations officers,
Right.
and political advisors,
Yeah.
and so on. Because the money is good. Because I think in the media, and this has happened over the years, I don't think that we pay journalists well enough. I really don't think so. And therefore, the attraction is there to go elsewhere.
Yeah.
And once you establish yourself as a journalist, it's very easy for other people to want you,
Right.
especially if you're doing it well.
Yeah.
And we have seen over the years that political parties and governments and opposition parties and so on have taken away some of the journalists, and not taken away, but they have offered them things that they couldn't refuse.
Yeah.
And we have seen that those journalists go on to become communication specialists and so on. And that's fine. I mean, everybody takes a decision to suit their own profession at the time or where they are at that time. So I'm not knocking that. But I think we don't pay people enough to keep them, and there is also not enough commitment on the part of some journalists to remain journalists and to be truly married to what journalism is. And again, that's you take a decision and you make positions based on who you are, where you are, what you are at that time.
If you said 29 years, a short while ago, were you always inclined to be a journalist? If you weren't a journalist, what do you think you would have been?
Oh gosh, that's a good question. I knew I wanted to do media from the age of 12 or 13.
Are you serious?
I knew I wanted to do media, but I was thinking of being a DJ because I loved music and I was into Rennie Bishop at the time. And these radio DJs, they pulled me in terms of my interests.
Right.
But somewhere along the way, when I started going to school, I gravitated towards journalism. So I wasn't always thinking of becoming a journalist,
Right.
but I'm glad I did.
Yeah.
And what would I do if not journalism? It would probably be law.
Yeah?
Yeah, it would probably be law.
But that may have been a result of your journalistic influence.
Probably, and that I like to argue.
That you do well.
And I like to, I like to convince people.
Yeah.
So maybe journalism. I almost said journalism/politics because very often lawyers become politics, and we've seen what that has done. So that's not a good thing. That's not a very good thing.
But politics is definitely not in your future.
No,
or should you?
I used to think
I
used to
remember.
think there was a time when I actually, and this must have been about 10, 15 years ago.
That's when probably I was
when I actually thought about politics as being one of the, but that was a fleeting thought, thank God. And I don't see it. I'm not saying never.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I've had offers and approaches and
so on.
And so on. But I don't know. I don't think I'm very good with. Let me be very careful what I say.
Be politically correct.
I'm trying to be politically correct. I don't think I would last in a party.
Yeah.
Because I am not good with towing these lines that you must toe. No matter how independent you feel you are. Yeah. And I feel I'm a very independent person. But no, I don't think I'd be able to survive. They would kick me out within months.
Yeah. The marriage between yourself and Tony Lee.
That marriage, it has lasted
a rocky marriage, isn't it?
Well, it has lasted a long time because we don't sleep together. And if we
that's why it has lasted.
That's why it has lasted so long. It's one of those relationships, no sex, and but very professional. And it has worked. It has worked, and I think we get on each other's nerves ever so often. I can think of just last week.
Yes.
But I'm sure, just as he aggravates me, I'm sure I aggravate him at times. But we do have a professional respect for each other. And we are two different people. Tony is patient. He is calm. I am not patient. I'm impatient. I'm very impatient. I'm quarrelsome at times. Tony tends to be a pacifist from time to time. So we do have those differences.
And that's probably why the chemistry is that good.
Maybe, I was talking with somebody earlier today, and I was being told that is it that you all are real, or do you all put on things? You say one thing and he says something, and it's just what you see, and you should know that.
I was about to say that.
What you see is what is. You know what I mean? I don't. We don't have time to rehearse. No. we don't even have time to talk after we come off air because I go into the newsroom and you know that, and he goes and do it.
So the magic that you hear on air is real.
If you call it magic,
it is. Because many people that I would have interacted with, even in my time at I-95 and even after, I witnessed the magic happen, and I witnessed how things evolve. And as I said, it's not a show. In terms of a show, it's really real radio.
I don't know that we can do it any other way. Really, I don't think that we can. I think it would rob the show of its realness if we go to rehearse. And if you say, well, I would say so and so, and you say so and so, no, we can't do that.
No.
That can't happen.
Any regrets over the years that in terms of your time, the industry has treated you different ways along the way?
The industry has been good to me.
Yeah?
I must say, the industry has been good to me, despite my some of my opinions and some of my views that may not have gone down well with some in the industry, as well as other sectors. I mean, I say things that sometimes, or I have opinions that people tend to think might be a bit outlandish and so on. But I don't plan to be that way. That's just the way it is.
You ever thought I had been interviewing you one of these?
No, I never thought of it. I told you I didn't like you from the start. I don't know that I didn't expect that we would be doing this, But it has been a good few years.
Let me just say that it's been a pleasure getting to know you over the years, and how much I've learned from you personally.
Thank you.
And now having to sit across you and just chat with you in this forum. Really,
one of the things I always said, and I said it to people, Joel has personality, and I think your personality is what has been pushing you and may be responsible for the kind of growth that I've seen over the years. You have personality, and that's important. That's all you have as well.
That's all I have. I have much more. We're taking a short break here on a cup of Joe, and I'm forced to come back with Daily Enoch. We have, of course, we're going into drink up with Diageo. Next, Stefan Scott will join us next. Daily Enoch, you drink alcohol?
I don't drink that, so I'm very worried about what I'm seeing,
This wonderful line of products.
People will say, but Daily Enoch would have said, I don't drink alcohol. I've never been an alcohol person.
I'll have one for you.
So what I'm having here is something soft.
Something soft. I hope so.
I think the strongest thing in it is bitters. I used to.
We're taking a short break. We're coming right back here on a cup of Joe.